Hello, welcome to Three Crows Runes. My name is Jen. Let's do some rune readings. Today we are doing Algiz Readings. Algiz is the rune of the elk, otherwise known as the moose. Here's my moose. She doesn't have antlers. She's a girl moose. Not just a girl moose because they're beautiful. But anyway, we have a moose. This has to do with protection and support. Another way that Algiz has been assumed to be interpreted is also elk sedge, and elk sedge was the material used to thatch the tops of houses, so that's another reason that it's protection and support. But it does look like an antler, and so we're going really with the focus on the main one, which is the moose, elk. And this has to do with protection and support, and these readings are going to be about what is supporting you right now and how are you being supported right now. So pick a Algiz. We have the Algiz from the bone runes, we have the Algiz from the maple runes, and we have the Algiz from the black tourmaline runes. So one of these has a message for you about where you are being supported right now and how you are being supported. Feel into the runes, and I'll put the timestamps in the description and you can click the reading that is for you. So I will see you there. Bye! Hello to those of you who chose the Bone Rune of Algiz. I'm going to start by pulling a card from the Gentle Creatures deck, which is going to set the stage for what this reading is going to be about. And how are you being supported? Oof! I had no idea that was the one that I was picking. So that's beautiful. It says support. It's basically the whole focus is going to be about support. And it looks like, the thing is that you're being supported in ways that you don't even realize. Like, you could just think you're up on a hill, but in fact the hill is a creature that is supporting you. So let's take the bone runes and have a reading. An Algiz reading, starting with Algiz as the central issue about support. This whole thing is going to be about support. And let's see what message we get. Okay, so of course your central issue is Algiz, the rune of protection and support. Your focus is on how you are being supported, how you are being protected, and questions about that. So leading up to this, you have first of all, you've just come through a period of time where you've brought a lot forward. You've been working on, this is your harvest rune, it's Yira, it's the rune of the year, but it's also the rune of the harvest. Also time. So there's been a lot of time that has passed, and a lot of time, and you're sort of thinking about what time there is left in the future. Maybe you've just ended a season of some kind in your life, a season of your life. But there were results to it. The fruits of your labors did happen. So you were looking at that, but now you're sort of looking to see how you are supported and how you are protected in the state in which you are. What is going to help you is tend your needs. We have Nauthiz. Nauthiz is the rune of need. It's the need fire, so it's the two sticks that you rub together to make fire. And it's just basically saying that you are able to support, it's upright, so it's not about self-support, but one of the things that's going to show you what is supporting you is when you go to tend your needs. So take care of the things that need to be taken care of. It's not reversed, so it's not an emergency, but it's the things that you do need to take care of. And through that, you will develop confidence. So you won't feel as worried about support. Because once you are attending your needs, you'll be able to see, well, I can do these things, I can take care of these things. So that's a certain amount of support that I don't actually need because I can do it. And so that'll build you your confidence. Sorry, Fehu reversed. Fehu is the rune of wealth and worth. Reversed, it has to do with inner wealth, inner worth, and confidence. So what isn't going to help is you're worried about how you're being supported, you're worried about how you're being protected. And what isn't going to help you in that, what's going to just basically drag you down is, maybe you're feeling like, okay, I'm going to walk you through this. This is Barcata Reversed. Well, Barcata is the rune of beginnings and birth. It is reversed and it's on the lower line. Often this has to do with family, so there may be a sense of maybe your family is not as supportive as you would like them to be, even though maybe they are. It's sort of, that might be a situation. basically because you're sort of worried about the unexpected, the uncontrolled uncontrollables, and chaos. We have Hagalaz in the lowest spot here. Hagalaz is the rune of the hailstorm, and it has to do with, as I said, chaos, the uncontrolled uncontrollables, things that are out of your control, and just basically you're worried about, ultimately that's what you're worried about, is that you can't really predict what's happening. And Barcata is, as I said, the rune of birth and beginnings. It is reversed and it's on the lower line. It's what isn't going to help you in this thing. Maybe it's like you're worried because maybe you did have support from your family before, a lot, and that's not really there anymore, basically for whatever reason. I mean, it could be just that you're older now and the family isn't in that role anymore. And so you're worried about just getting beaten up by the storms. Also, I have to read it in the beginnings sense of don't not begin. Like, you're worried about support, but if you're not willing to tend your own needs as much as you have control over, then you're not going to get anywhere, really. So don't not begin. If you don't begin, then everything is going to be chaos. And it's almost like you're sort of tempted not to begin because you're sort of waiting to see what the chaos brings. But honestly, you know what needs need to be tended. And if you tend them, then you're going to feel more confident. So that's something that will really help. And what this is going to lead you to is, we have Gebo. Gebo is the rune of the gift. The gift is always an exchange. So I do see this as agreements, decisions, and goals. There may be another person that you're going to be dealing with in terms of sort of creating an agreement with, but it could just be you making goals, setting plans, making plans and setting goals, agreements, decisions, and goals. But there may also be the element of another person involved. Gebo does sometimes have to do with interpersonal, but on a one-on-one basis. What is going to help you here is follow your heart. To a certain extent, there is Algiz, which is the rune of the lake. It's all the watery stuff, emotion, intuition, and heart. That's going to carry you forward in this. So that's why I'm sort of thinking this might be another person. It might not be a lover, but it could be somebody for whom you care quite a lot. A very, very close friend, maybe a relative, somebody in your family. But anyway, follow your heart. And basically make plans. You're going to be making plans, setting goals. What isn't going to help is you're worried about the level of strength that you have. You're worried about health as well. This is Uruz. It's the rune of the wild ox, and it has to do with strength and health. Reversed on the lower line especially, it has to do with maybe you're worried that you're not as strong as you would like to be, and maybe you're worried about letting go of stubbornness, because sometimes Uruz has to do with stubbornness. And it also has to do with worries about health. It may also mean you won't feel as strong as you want to be, and you won't feel as healthy as you want to be. But bring yourself back up to, you are making plans at this point. You've already started by doing, taking care of your own needs to the point where you feel more confident. So now, knowing that you can take care of that, you're able to follow your heart as you make plans for the future. So try not to worry about whether you have the strength for it, because that will come as you flow it. You don't have to do everything all at once. And what this will lead you to is you can let go of things that no longer serve you. This is something that, maybe you were clinging to things that didn't serve you because you were worried that you didn't have the support you needed, and you were worried that you wouldn't be able to take care of things. But you've learned now, by the end of this few steps, that you actually can. So you are willing to step more into a situation where you're out of your comfort zone. You're willing to let go of things that no longer serve you, that you maybe have been dragging around. This is Othala. It's the rune of the home and the homeland. It has to do with your state of home, but also comfort zone, sanctuary, that kind of thing. But reversed on the path line, it's letting go of things that no longer serve, as well as stepping out of your comfort zone, which you will fully feel able to do by the end of this process. So that is your Algiz reading, your support and protection reading, and about what is protecting you and supporting you. I do get the sense that you're more supported than you think you are. in ways that you have no idea about because it's just too big and too much a part of the world, but at the same time that you can show yourself that you are able to support yourself to a certain extent, and that's that many less things that you have to worry about. So that is your Algiz reading. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, Maple Rune people. So we're going to start with a card from the Gentle Creatures deck. I have Falada here. She's ready to be a part of this reading, even though she doesn't have antlers. But that's okay. Girl mooses don't have antlers. And she is ready to be supportive and protective as she needs to be. You don't want to mess with any kind of a moose, whether they have antlers or not. So, okay, let's draw that card. What do we have? Heard. So it looks like you're being supported by being heard, which is always amazing to feel heard. When you feel heard, it's like you can relax. Like it's you can, maybe you've been holding things in and just not feeling like you were worthy, but now that you feel like you're being heard, you feel like, okay, I can be who I am. It's a certain amount of validation, but it's also, sometimes when I'm not, when I'm in a situation where I feel like nobody is listening to me, I have to just make sure that I'm still corporeal, because you never know. You have to check these things. So I'm going to throw down the whole reading first, and we're going to see what we get with the maple runes. So, alrighty. So of course the central issue is Algiz. The whole reading is going to be about protection and support and where you are being supported and what is supporting you. The card indicates that just feeling heard is really, really, really good. And what's neat is that the first rune we have here as for what's leading up to this feeling of support, this question about support, is we have Algiz Reversed. Algiz is the rune of communication and manifestation, and reversed, it's inner communication, but it's also listening. So this is being about being heard, but it's like you have been the listener for a very, very long time, and it's like, when do I get to be heard? And so it looks like the way you are being supported is that you are going to be heard. This may also mean the beginning of this. This may also refer to somebody who has listened to you, even in your silence. But it does seem like you were the listener for a very, very long time, and you're like, when do I get to be heard? So that's how you feel that you're going to be most strongly supported in the world. And it looks like this is something that is happening, that you are now at this point being heard. So what is going to help you is we have Thurisaz. Thurisaz is the rune of the challenge, but it's the thorn, the giant, the gateway. It's a challenge, but it's upright, so the door is open. It's more of a psychological thing. So maybe there is somebody that you could talk to that would be able to hear you, but you're nervous. You've always been the listener, and you don't know if you can step forward and do that. But the door is open. It's not going to be. It's only basically a psychological doorway that you need to pass through to do that, and the benefits are that this is going to open up your life. This is going to allow you to release the things that have been stuck inside you for a long time. We have Paratho, which is the rune of the lot box. This has to do with surprises that were always there but that are now being revealed. It has to do with fate also, but we're not going to go into that. I just see this as, once you step through this, what is going to help at that point is just that you are going to be able to release this. What isn't going to help is you're worried about people. You're worried about how people tend to be closed off, sort of in their own groups and in their own, facing each other. And you're worried about those options being narrow. So we have Manaz, which is the Rune of Humanity. It always looks like Vunyo facing two Vunyos facing each other, so face each other with joy, but it's sort of that sense of humanity being closed off and everybody in their own conversations and, nobody available when you need it. So you're worried about that, and you're worried about your options being narrowed. So we have Kaunaz, which is the rune of expansion. It's the fire, so it's something that starts small as a ember and goes into a blaze, and it's reversed on the lowest line. So you're worried about people being closed off. But you do have an idea of where you can turn, and the door is open. It's just a matter of you taking that step, and then you'll be able to release these things. What is going to help, what this is going to lead you to is we have Tivaz reversed. So I'm going to read this a couple ways. Tivaz is Tyr's rune. Tyr's the warrior god. It doesn't mean you're going to ride off and fight, but it does mean a few things. Tyr always had to do with responsibilities, very, very much, very strongly. He was the one who took care of the Fenris, Fenrir, the Fenris wolf, and when nobody else would. And when it's reversed, I would see this as, number one, tending your inner needs. So this is something you're basically taking care of responsibilities to yourself, because again, you've been a listener all this time, and now you need the support. You're going to be taking care of your own responsibilities. You're going to be basically saying, no, I need to tend this. This is my responsibility to myself. And the other way I'm going to read this is you're not going to feel like you have to fight anymore. You're not going to feel like you're constantly embattled. But I do see this mostly as this is an important step to tend your responsibilities to yourself. What is going to help is, having felt heard, you're going to feel of greater worth than you did before. We have Fehu, it's the rune of wealth and worth, it's upright, and it's on the helping line. So just your sense of wealth and worth, just in the world, what you're worth. And this is, Fehu's basically cattle, so it's the wealth you need to tend for it to be worthy. So once you take care of this, as you take care of this, this is basically your wealth you're tending. What gives you your sense of worth that you're tending. You're taking care of that. What isn't going to help is you feel like a lot of time has gone by up until this point and you don't know how much time is left. There's that sense of lost time. We have Yira, which is the rune of the harvest, but also time. So it's like it's been a long time coming for this, and to reap the fruits of your labors for this. Again, you know, we don't expect a favor for a favor. So you've always been unconditional about your listening, but you're sort of, there is a sort of sense of, you know, it wasn't fair because I was doing all the listening and nobody was listening to me. So there is that sense of lost time where, you know, I worked really, really hard for the fruits of my labors and I didn't get anything. I just got more, you know, not being listened to and having to do the listening myself. But it's basically, you know, so it's this, if you let that drag you down, then that will drag you down. So your focus basically at this point is make sure that you're tending responsibilities to yourself, your own responsibility to yourself, because you do have that responsibility, and focus on the worth of you, because you are worthy. You are fully worthy. Otherwise, people wouldn't have come to you with their problems. What this is going to lead you to is you'll be on a better path. You'll be on a healthier path. It's not a quick path. It's going to be a step-by-step thing, and it's a long road. But you'll be on it by the end of this. We have Algiz, which is the rune of the Yew Tree. It has to do with patience, slow growth, slow development, and you will be on that path. It doesn't mean that you won't listen to other people, but you'll be being much more careful about making sure that your own needs are tended and making sure that your responsibilities to yourself are being tended as well. So that, Maple Rune people, is your reading about, your Algiz reading about what is supporting you and how you are being supported. I wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye. Hello, Black Tourmaline Algiz people. So I'm going to start with a card from the Gentle Creatures deck. I'm just going to shuffle these and we're going to give an overview of what is supporting you and where your support is coming from in this case, where it is most needed. So let's cut that deck, see what your card is, and we have clearing. So I'm seeing this really as sort of a space, like basically as you're coming into a clearing of the mist that has been in your life, or maybe out of the forest, you're able to see what more clearly what is supporting you at this point. That there are things bringing things to you all along. This lovely little creature is being This lovely creature is being brought companionship and an egg. So maybe they wouldn't have seen that if they'd still been in the forest. So now I'm looking at the card. It looks like there is a sense of loss here, as far as it looks like the forest isn't there because it's been cleared. It looks like something has happened where there is not a forest, because this tree looks a bit damaged. And, the bird is looking for a place to put its egg. So it's maybe not a nice thing where things are cleared as far as, oh, good, it's cleared. It's like, oh, good. It's like, oh, no. It's like there used to be cover here and now there isn't cover. So I'm sort of seeing this more as you're needing the support of coverage because maybe things are a bit too open at the moment. So again, we have the blank rune that leads up to this. Our central issue is Algiz, because all of these are Algiz readings today. Looks like things have just been, you've been given a blank slate at this point. It's like something new. There doesn't seem to be much cover. You need a place to put your egg. So how can we find some support in all of this is the question. Oh, by the way, I have Falada here with us. She's going to oversee, or undersee as the case may be, since she's at the bottom. First thing you're going to do is tend your own responsibilities to yourself. We have Tivaz reversed. Tivaz is the rune of Tyr. Tyr's the warrior god. He doesn't have to do with going off and fighting so much as he has to do with making sure that responsibilities are tended. Reversed, it has to do with inner responsibilities. So make sure that you are taking care of the responsibilities to yourself. Make sure that those are taken care of. Make sure that your own oxygen mask is in place before trying to assist another. Through that, once you are doing that, you will feel more able to communicate with others. Maybe others are in the same situation as you and you can help each other. But just to express, to express what you're going through and to make sure that you are taking care of what you need to take care of to get the coverage and protection that you need. What isn't going to help you is, it looks like there has been a lot of chaos. It looks like there has been some uncontrollables, things out of your control. And you are going to be tempted to try to wrench things back into control. So A, you're worried about more chaos, and B, you might feel like you have to force things to go back to the way that they need to be, or to go to be a way that they need to be in order to provide you coverage. However, that's not really going to help you. The way is going to be making sure that your own responsibilities are being taken care of, the ones that tend you inwardly as well as just for yourself. As well, communicate, because nobody will know what you're going through unless you communicate, and this is important. Make sure that you have someone else that you can communicate with, and even if that's not somebody you currently know, just basically make sure that you're able to communicate what you need to get the coverage, the support and protection that you need. Next, once you've already started taking care of the responsibilities yourself, you're going to become aware of something that is pretty much an emergency in your life. We have Nauthiz, and it's reversed. Nauthiz is the rune of need. It always means tend your needs. But it really, really, really means tend your needs, like drop everything and tend your needs when it's reversed. What is going to help you is, maybe there was something you were trying to begin. You can't begin it unless, and there's the egg, you can't begin it unless you take care of this. So back burner that thing that you were hoping to begin. It's the best thing you can do, because this has to be your focus right now. What isn't going to help is you are, because of all of this, you're kind of, you're worried, you're anxious about more unpleasant surprises, more things that are going to reveal themselves that are going to be a problem. We have Paratho reversed. Paratho is the rune of the lot box. It has to do with surprises, but surprises that were always there, and also fate. And it's reversed, so it's negative surprises in the lower line. It may also be surprises about yourself that you didn't realize, but I'm seeing this more as in keeping with the chaos and trying to wrench it into shape, and just basically being things that were out of your control, and you're worried that just like one more thing is going to come up that's unpleasant, that you might have known about but didn't. Like, it's something that wasn't in your ken. So if that starts to drag you down, just go, you know what, I'm already taking precautions of not beginning the thing that I was planning to begin, and so I'm turning away from that. I'm just backburnering that for now, so that I can tend the emergency that seems to have Taking care of my responsibilities to myself have brought this to my attention, and I need to deal with this. I need to deal with this like on the very next step from now, in order to make sure that I have the support and protection that I need. And what this is going to lead you to is you're not going to feel as dependent on other people for what you need. Certainly there will be outside support going on, but because you have been able to take care of your own responsibilities and your own needs and even your own emergency, for the most part, you may have had to bring somebody else in for that, and you obviously are going to want to be communicating and expressing, but you are not going to be tied down to waiting for what other people might or might not do, which is just never comfortable anyway. You're basically going to be able to, Mana's reversed, Rune of Humanity, and your part in it, it's reversed on the path line. So it's not so much that you are going to be looking to outside sources for the support. You have been able to take care of it so far, so you are going to be able to take care of things going forward. Not exclusively, but more than before. So that is your Algiz reading. What is supporting you and where your support is coming in. I and Falada wish you a lovely day or evening. Take care till next time. Bye.